What's good, everybody, and welcome back to Whole Views. And you are now watching the Whole Week, the weekly breakdown show where we cover the week that was in movie, TV, and entertainment news. This past week was dominated by the Oscars, Academy Awards that were last Sunday, but we did get a significant amount of things come out over this past week. So I'm gonna pick a few topics to go through and talk about those things. Let's go ahead and jump right into the first topic, which is the Guy Gardner casting that was announced for the HBO Max show Green Lantern. Listen, I'm excited about that, but I've perused my collection of comics that's over there in the corner, and when I went through them all, guess what I found? Not one comic book featuring Guy Gardner. Just to be certain, I went through each single episode. I have everything like categorized and boxed off, and I went to the Green Lantern section, and there's nothing there of significance that would provide me with any insight. I am convinced now that I'm probably the owner and curator of the most useless collection of comics ever. Like, it's nothing that I can pinpoint and say, hey, I think they're adapting this. Nothing like that. It's just an assortment of things that I have, and while I'm happy to have them, proud to have them, they don't provide me with any extra insight. So I have no knowledge of Guy Gardner. All I know is Hal Jordan and John Stewart, and that's mostly from the few comics I have and the DC animated movies and TV shows. So to be quite real, I'm thinking we are overdue for some Green Lantern animated stuff. So I'm happy that we're getting the show, but at the same time, let's see more Green Lantern in the animated stuff. And let's see what this guy gives us, because this is an actor that I'm not really familiar with. So while this news is cool, it's also like quite mysterious. I don't have insight to the comics, and I also don't have insight to the actor. So let's just be hopeful about what we get with the Green Lantern casting, right? Here's a topic that I wanted to really discuss when we look at topic 2 of Leonardo DiCaprio set to star in a remake of Another Round. Now, the reason why that's something I wanted to touch on is because Another Round is an award-winning film to come out in 2020 or 2021, whenever, and it's getting an American remake, basically, because it won Best Foreign Film. And I'm like, why would we do that? Why would we take what was good somewhere else and just remake it? And I kind of get it if you want it to be appealing to an American audience, but it's like, first of all, Americans watch foreign films all the time. Like, one of my favorite movies from last year was The Platform, foreign produced film. I watched the dub version because I didn't even know a subtitle existed, but at the time, I got all the updates later for that. But Another Round to me is like, it's starring Mads Mikkelsen. The dude speaks English. Like, why we can't just use him? I don't know. That's probably the weirdest thing to come out this week as far as like news and remakes are concerned. Like, I think that's a bad move. I think American box office and American Hollywood, our version of film production would probably behoove itself to ingratiate itself to other parts of the world by just taking their stuff and putting it out here. Like, let them make money here like we make money in other places. It would just make sense to me, but who knows? These executives think they're geniuses, so let them do those things. But I think this is a bad move, really dumb. American audiences are not slow. Like, we can either read subtitles or we can watch it with some type of dub over it or whatever, but there's no reason to remake a film that was just made in the last year. Like, it's dumb. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. Moving from Another Round into not the normal trailer discussion that I do, wanted to do 2 reviews in here. First on Invincible. Invincible, and my thoughts on it, is probably the most amazing animated show that you'll watch almost ever, man. There's not many things that are better than Invincible was. me and my executive producer clashed on a few things when it came down to like the end of the season, like the back half of the season. Kind of, I feel like it let him down. You know, I invited him to come and talk. He didn't want to come and talk, but he didn't necessarily care for the episode where Mark was on campus and doing the college tour. He didn't care too much for that one. The words he used were teenage angst, and I feel him. That was an issue there, but at the same time, it's like I kind of felt that episode. Like I liked the whole evil genius sewer monster angle that was presented there. The teenage angst stuff was there, but it was not huge for me. Me and him didn't specifically discuss the finale. He felt like it was okay. I felt like it was amazing. To be quite honest, the thing that's most intriguing about the show is that it presents these characters, right? And again, another friend of mine, Yogi, he likes to explain things in terms that everyone understands. He used DC and Marvel. So he explained Invincible to me like the DC heroes trying to kill the evil Superman. And I'm like, once I watched 2 episodes, like that's not at all what this is at all. But I get what he meant. And the thing that's best about Invincible though is that they give you these characters that do call back to other familiar characters that we know, but it does so in a way where it's not a simple carbon copy as it was told to me. And these characters carry such heart to them, such individuality to them, that they are distinctly different from anything else that we've ever seen on the screen. And they also come with such complexity that it's just intriguing to know where they're going to go next and what they're going to do next. This season did a great job in laying the seeds to try to find out what was going to happen towards the end. Now, again, hindsight is always 20/20. But me coming in without comic book knowledge, my executive producer having comic book knowledge of Invincible, he and I, like we both arrived at the same conclusion. Him knowing the comics and me just having a hunch. Like after episode 2, I firmly believed that Omni-Man was one of the guys who would just go from planet to planet and not like protect it, but like harvest it. I always thought that from when he explained his beginnings and then seeing that end of episode 1 and then some other things that popped up in episode 2, I was like, nah, I think you're lying. I think your race goes out and conquers worlds. And it was a little bit more to it than that, but at the end of the day, yes, that's what y'all do. Y'all go out and y'all conquer worlds because y'all are basically a tribe of Supermen. And it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked that angle, that it wasn't mind control and it wasn't somebody influencing him. It was just simply him. He was a bad person. It was good though. I liked Invincible. I thought fast forward into the finale that we got, I like that his humanity kind of infected Omni-Man to the point where he couldn't finish off his son, which is a very human trait. Like no one could do that. Although we do know of some cases where fathers and son clash, like finishing your son with your hands, like that takes a bit of it takes a special person to do that. So I'm glad to see that it turned out that way. And also him just disappearing the way he did leaves it open to a whole bunch of other storylines like coming to fruition and developing in there. So we get Mahershala Ali's character, the guy who covered himself in rocks. Like we get to see where that goes. We get to see Battle Beast, the big furry guy with the axe. Like we get to see where that goes. It's a lot of seeds that were planted that now we got a little room here, a little breathing room to see where it goes. And at the same time, we're all probably anticipating what happens when Omni-Man comes back. So I like it, man. I like it a lot. I'll be looking for seasons 2 and season 3, which were announced this week. And I have to say, best animated series I've watched probably in forever. Only thing I can think of that's like classic and better than this, or same level as this, is Batman animated series, and that's from the 90s. So I don't think anything's been done better on a superhero level. So great stuff here. Great stuff here. Moving into not so great stuff, or depending on who you are, I wanted to get into kind of talking about Without Remorse. This is a trailer that I reviewed, and I enjoyed reviewing the trailer of that. I actually enjoyed the film, but I feel like it's a topic that need to be discussed because of some of the things that I'm seeing coming out about it. I looked at this specific image that I'm showing on the screen right now. Now, I don't, this is not a let's fuss against Double Toasted or nothing like that. I like those guys, man. I enjoy their reviews. I enjoy their banter and their commentary. But I didn't even watch the video. I just seen Without Personality, and I was like, okay, well, that's something. And then I also, I went check audience scores and the Tomato Meter, Rotten Tomatoes, an aggregate site, and I'm like, does not appear like people like this. If I was to give it a score, I would say like a strong 6 out of 10. I don't feel like, not gonna spoil anything, but I don't feel like this movie was as intriguing as the creators of it thought it would be. And I use that word because when you look at the plot and the misdirections and the mystery behind why and who did what, we all saw the trailers with John Kelly and his family getting killed, and you see all that stuff, and they create this weaving pattern of who done it, and it's, I guess, to create intrigue. And I think the bigger issue with the movie is that the intrigue was not as intriguing as they thought it would be. I know I did not find myself overly intrigued. I did think I knew exactly who the villain was within the first 5 or 10 minutes, and they did pull out the rug from under me in that regard. But I also feel like people's expectations have a lot to do with their reception of this movie. I think people saw Michael B. Jordan and heard the plot of the movie and thought, okay, gonna be some great performance from Michael B. Jordan. I never thought that. I never thought it would be this powerful performance. I thought it would be exactly what we got. One note, angry man. Like, I'm mad. And I thought it would be a whole bunch of killing. I actually expected less of this mystery plot and more, I'm just angry and I'm going to keep escalating until I get my answers and I get my revenge. So I did find it weird that he, like the scene from the trailer without that, when he burned the car, that it made me, back up in the trailer. But then at the same time in the movie, he did that real early. And I was like, wow, like you taking it as far as you can go immediately. I enjoyed it though. Me and my wife watched it. I feel like she was more into it than me, and really followed it very closely. I found myself kind of like, I'm watching to wait to get to the next action scene. But the action scenes were very well done. And again, I feel like the plot was good enough because I could follow it without really having to dial in. And they fooled me. I thought I knew who the bad guy was, and it turns out I was wrong. So I was like, kudos to y'all. Pretty good movie. I did not expect award-winning cinema. I just expected some real crisp, well-done action, gunplay, and angry one-note Michael B. Jordan from start to finish. And that's kind of what I got. I think if people didn't like this, I think they just expected more or better from him in the movie in general, and I did not. I expected this to be pretty plain, and I feel like that's kind of what we got. So 6 out of 10 is not bad. It's good. It's a nice night, with some popcorn and watch a little action. Thought it was fine, but people don't seem to agree, especially on the aggregate site. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Who knows? Wrapping things up this week, I do feel like there's a winner of the week, and I think it's kind of unexpected. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with my winner, but I would have to say, if I'm picking the biggest news of the week and the thing that got the biggest buzz was not Green Lantern, definitely not another round. It was, to me, the Invincible announcement for season 2 and season 3. I heard a lot of like hoorays behind that, a lot of cheering, and a lot of people happy to see more Invincible. And I think, as far as again animated features go, it's probably the best one that I've seen in years, and that's a good thing. Good thing for Invincible. Good thing for Robert Kirkman. I was always a fan of his adaptations, and I'm glad to see that this is being relatively faithfully adapted. And as far as buzz goes, everything else kind of popped and went away, but that kind of lingered for a day or two. In a week where we were still talking Academy Awards, in a week where there's still lots of things going on throughout the world, Invincible had a big bright spot in the middle of the week for me. So I'm giving that one winner of the week. Hooray for Invincible. That has been the whole week for me. Covered all the things that I wanted to cover. Please stick around the channel because we'll be doing discussions pretty soon on them that I just wrapped up. Mortal Kombat that I'm watching for a second time. More movie reviews, more trailer reviews, and just multiple things coming. So stick around, enjoy the content, enjoy yourself, guard your heart, come back and see more videos.